Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today, we're diving deep into the oceans to uncover a problem that costs our planet billions of dollars and threatens marine life on a massive scale. It's called bycatch. Imagine casting a giant net to catch tuna, but when you pull it up, it's not just full of tuna. It's also filled with dolphins, sea turtles, sharks, and countless other fish you never intended to catch. That is bycatch. Some estimates suggest this accidental harvest makes up 40% of the total fish caught worldwide. That's nearly 40 million tons of marine life wasted. This isn't just an ecological tragedy, it's a colossal economic blunder. But what if the solution came from a completely unexpected place? Not marine biology, but agricultural economics. Today, we'll explore how the principles we use to manage farms on land can help us solve the billion-dollar bycatch problem and save our seas. Let's start by understanding the true cost of this unseen harvest. Bycatch refers to any marine animal caught unintentionally while fishing for something else. These animals are often thrown back, but they're usually already dead or dying. The ecological impact is staggering. When you accidentally remove key species, you unravel the entire food web. Take sharks, for example. As apex predators, their removal can cause an explosion in the population of their prey. These newly abundant animals can then wipe out other species below them, creating a destructive domino effect known as a trophic cascade. It's not just the balance of the ecosystem that's at stake. Bycatch has a devastating impact on protected and vulnerable species. Hundreds of thousands of sea turtles drown each year after getting caught in shrimp trawls or on long lines. Dolphins, whales, and porpoises become entangled in nets, leading to horrific injuries and death. Even the ocean floor itself isn't safe. Destructive methods like bottom trawling scrape the seabed clean, turning vibrant habitats like coral reefs into barren wastelands. The economic consequences are just as severe. The organization Oceana calculated that the fish discarded as bycatch in the United States alone could be worth at least $1 billion every year. Think about that, $1 billion of potential revenue just thrown back into the ocean. This is a massive waste of the fuel, time, and resources spent to catch those fish in the first place. But the costs don't stop there. Large animals caught as bycatch, like sea turtles or sharks, can damage expensive fishing gear. Furthermore, many fisheries have strict bycatch limits for certain protected species. Once that limit is hit, the entire fishery might be shut down for the season, cutting off income for every single fisher, even those who were fishing responsibly. The decline in marine wildlife also hurts coastal economies that depend on tourism. Fewer whales, dolphins, and turtles mean fewer tourists paying for boat tours and diving trips. So how do we fix this? This is where agricultural economics comes in. At its core, agricultural economics is the study of how we allocate scarce resources to produce food. We can apply this exact same logic to our oceans, treating fisheries as a form of aquatic agriculture. The key insight is that fishers, like any other business owners, are rational economic actors. They respond to incentives. The goal, then, is to create a system where it becomes more profitable to avoid bycatch than to catch it. Traditionally, fisheries management has used a command and control approach. This means setting rigid rules, what kind of gear you can use, when and where you can fish, and what you have to throw back. While sometimes effective, this approach can be inflexible and expensive to enforce. The more modern approach, rooted in economics, is incentive-based management. Instead of just telling fishers what to do, this approach creates economic reasons for them to want to reduce bycatch themselves. It's about empowering fishers to be part of the solution, fostering innovation and flexibility. So what do these incentives look like in practice? One of the most powerful tools is a system called catch shares, or individual transferable quotas, often called ITQs. Here's how it works. First, scientists determine the total amount of a specific fish that can be caught sustainably in a season. This is the total allowable catch, or TAC. This total catch is then divided into shares, or quotas, which are allocated to individual fishers or fishing groups. This fundamentally changes the game. It ends the frantic race to fish, where everyone rushes to catch as much as they can before the season closes. Instead, each fisher owns a secure share of the catch. This encourages them to think long-term, like a farmer tending their field. Crucially for our topic, catch shares create direct accountability for bycatch. In many of these systems, any bycatch a fisher hauls in is counted against their valuable quota. If you catch too many non-target species, you might have to stop fishing for your profitable target species, even if you haven't filled that quota. This creates a powerful financial incentive to fish cleanly. With a guaranteed share, fishers also have the flexibility to innovate. They can invest in more selective gear, change their fishing techniques, or choose to fish at times of the year when bycatch is less common. The transferable part of ITQs is also a game changer. Let's say one fisher is incredibly good at avoiding bycatch and has quota left over. They can sell or lease that extra quota to another fisher who might have accidentally caught too much bycatch. This creates a market that efficiently puts a price on bycatch and rewards those who are best at avoiding it. A fantastic example of this in action is the Pacific groundfish fishery in the United States. Before implementing catch shares, the fishery was in trouble with high bycatch and frequent early closures. Since the program began, bycatch has been slashed, and the fishery is now considered one of the most sustainable in the world. Another economic tool is the classic polluter pays principle, applied through bycatch fees or fines. The idea is simple. If you generate a negative outcome, in this case, bycatch, you bear the financial cost. By imposing a fee for every pound of bycatch, fishers have a direct financial reason to avoid it. The revenue generated from these fees can then be funneled back into conservation. It can fund better bycatch monitoring, research into new reduction technologies, or projects to restore damaged marine habitats. Of course, incentives don't always have to be penalties. Positive incentives, like subsidies, can also be incredibly effective. But we need to be smart about it. Bad subsidies, like those that lower the cost of fuel, can actually make overfishing and bycatch worse by encouraging more fishing. Good subsidies, however, invest directly in the solution. For example, a subsidy could help a fisher purchase a turtle excluder device, or TED. This is a simple grid installed in a shrimp net that allows shrimp to pass through, but lets a large animal like a sea turtle swim out safely. Subsidies can also help fishers adopt circle hooks on their long lines, which are less likely to be swallowed by turtles, or install acoustic pingers on their nets that emit a sound to warn away dolphins and porpoises. Beyond these broad economic models, we can also empower local stewards through community-based management. In many coastal communities, fishing isn't just a job, it's a way of life, with knowledge passed down through generations. These local fishers often have an incredibly detailed understanding of their fishing grounds, knowing exactly when and where bycatch is most likely to occur. By formally involving these communities in managing their local fisheries, we can leverage this invaluable traditional knowledge. In a close-knit community, social pressure can also be a powerful motivator. If catching a lot of bycatch becomes socially unacceptable, fishers will be more likely to avoid it. All of these economic strategies are supercharged by technological innovation. Scientists and engineers are constantly developing new tools to make fishing more selective. We're seeing the development of smart nets, equipped with cameras and sensors that can identify a species and open an escape hatch for non-target fish. Researchers have found that simply attaching LED lights to gill nets can make them more visible to sea turtles and seabirds, dramatically reducing their bycatch. And electronic monitoring, using onboard cameras and GPS, is becoming a cost-effective way to collect accurate data on bycatch, which is essential for any incentive program to work. Now, making this shift isn't without its challenges. Implementing these programs requires good data and robust monitoring, which can be expensive. It needs strong enforcement to ensure everyone is playing by the rules. And most of all, it requires political will to overcome resistance to change. We also have to be careful that these programs are designed fairly, so they don't unintentionally harm small-scale fishers or coastal communities. Despite these hurdles, there is every reason for optimism. The unseen harvest of bycatch is a problem we can no longer ignore. But as we've seen, it is a problem we can solve. By applying the smart principles of agricultural economics, we can align the financial interests of fishers with the urgent goals of marine conservation. It's a path forward that creates a virtuous cycle. Less bycatch leads to healthier oceans, which in turn leads to more stable and profitable fisheries. This requires an all-hands-on-deck approach. Governments need to create the policies that allow these incentive programs to flourish. The fishing industry must embrace innovation and collaboration. Scientists must continue to develop new solutions. And as consumers, we can play a part by choosing seafood from fisheries that are certified as sustainable. By working together, we can turn the tide on this crisis, ensuring our oceans remain a source of life, wonder, and prosperity for all the generations to come.